This is the Nikon Plena 135mm f1.8, one of the most praised lenses Nikon has ever made. And this is the Viltrox 135mm f1.8, a lens that costs dramatically less but promises surprisingly high performance. So the question is, can the Viltrox actually compete with the Plena? And more importantly, is the Plena really worth the huge price difference? In this video, we'll compare everything from build quality and autofocus performance to sharpness, bokeh, chromatic aberrations and real-world image quality. So stay with us. Now let's do the quick unboxing of the boat, Nikon Plena first. As you can see, it's a standard vertical Nikon lens box. Let's see what we get inside. Documentation, carrying pouch, and inside the box there is lens hood. Let me show it to you quickly. Here it is. Okay. Then underneath we get to the lens itself. It's in the protective bag. And here it is, famous Nikon Plena lens. Now let's do the same with Viltrox, different approach to box design, minimalistic black design, some kind of mysterious thing. It opens like this, and then you have a box with a lens pouch, leather imitation lens pouch, and inside is the lens in the protective plastic case, and the lens hood is already attached to it. Let's start with the Nikon build quality first. Right away, in the hand, you notice just how premium this lens feels. It features an all-metal construction and the overall build quality feels extremely solid and professional. You can really feel the attention to detail simply by holding the lens and interacting with its controls. The mount is weather sealed as expected from a high-end Nikon lens. There are also two customizable function buttons, an autofocus to manual focus switch and smooth rubberized focus and control rings to which you can assign different functions. The lens hood itself is plastic with a matte finish, but it still feels very high quality and well made. Overall, everything about this lens looks and feels extremely premium. When we move over to the Viltrox, things become a lot more interesting. The lens hood comes already attached, so I'll remove it first. And honestly, the first surprise is just how similar the in-hand feel is compared to the Nikon lens. The Viltrox is noticeably heavier, but it also features a full metal construction and feels extremely solid. The focus ring isn't quite as smooth as the Nikon's, but the difference is actually smaller than I expected. There are also two customizable function buttons, plus even more physical controls, including an autofocus to manual focus switch, a focus limiter switch, and another very useful addition, a switch that allows the control ring to operate either in clickable or non-clickable mode. The buttons and switches don't feel quite as refined or as premium as the Nikon's, but they still feel very good overall. Another nice surprise is a built-in OLED display, which can show different shooting information while mounted on the camera. The mount is weather sealed as well. The lens hood is slightly trickier to mount compared to the Nikon's, and it doesn't feel quite as refined either. But overall, the build quality is genuinely impressive, and the amount of features you get at this price point is honestly a bit shocking. Here they are without lens hood side by side. It's obvious that the Viltrox lens is a bit longer, but thinner. And here they are side by side with lens hoods attached. Viltrox is still a bit longer, but the difference is smaller. Looking at the spec sheet, we can see that the Nikon features a more complex optical design with a higher number of lens elements arranged in more lens groups. The Viltrox, on the other hand, offers closer focusing distance and slightly higher maximum magnification. It also includes several additional features, such as a clickable to non-clickable controlling switch, a focus limiter switch, and a built-in OLED display. However, the Viltrox is also noticeably heavier. Other than that, the overall specifications are actually quite similar. Even wide open, Nikon is sharp at the center, but the edges fall slightly behind. Close to f2.8, the overall sharpness becomes even more consistent. By f4, the edges seem almost as sharp as the center. At f5.6, it is sharp from edge to edge. At f1.8, the Viltrox seems a little bit less sharp than Nikon at the center, but sharper at the edges. Close to f2.8, both central and edge sharpness become a bit better. By f4, the overall sharpness seems consistent all over the frame. Closing down to f5.6 doesn't seem to improve sharpness that much. It was already very sharp at f4. Nikon lens shows a slight amount of chromatic aberrations, mostly red and green fringing. Viltrox lens also shows very little amount of chromatic aberrations, mostly red and purple fringing. When it comes to longitudinal chromatic aberrations or aloca, they are almost not an issue on both of the lenses. Wide open, the Nikon lens shows some amount of vignetting as expected. Closing down to f2.8 improves things a bit, but not just yet. By f4, the vignetting is completely gone. The Viltrox also shows some amount of vignetting wide open. At f2.8 there's less vignetting, but a bit more than at Nikon lens. Closing down to f4 improves the situation a bit, but still not completely. Geometrical distortions are almost absolutely not an issue on both of the lenses. Interestingly, the flaring is more prominent on the Nikon lens. Nikon Plena Pros. Exceptional rendering quality, beautiful and very smooth bokeh, excellent sharpness across the frame, very refined optical performance, premium all-metal build quality, very well controlled chromatic aberrations, lighter than Viltrox. Overall, flagship level user experience. Cons: extremely expensive, less lens controls and features than Viltrox, more flaring, overkill for casual users and hobbyists. Viltrox Pros. Excellent value for the price, very sharp image quality, beautiful bokeh rendering, premium metal construction, more lens controls and features than Nikon. Impressive overall performance for the price. Cons: noticeably heavier than Nikon, more prominent vignetting, lens hood feels less refined, very large and heavy for long handheld use. Rendering still slightly behind the Plena overall. So in the end, I think this comparison turned out much closer than many people would expect. The Nikon Plena is still the more refined lens overall, with smoother rendering, better controlled vignetting and a more premium shooting experience. But the Viltrox performs surprisingly close considering the massive price difference. It's extremely sharp, built very well, and even offers more physical controls and features than the Nikon lens. So if you want the absolute best Nikon has to offer, the Plena is incredible. But if you care about value and performance per dollar, the Viltrox becomes very difficult to ignore.